Then comes Just Dance 2018, which will be the same as its predecessors, just with new songs. God, Ubisoft, you need to stop releasing the same game every year. Though that demonstration for the game is cringy for an E3 press conference. Like, is this an E3 press conference or a concert? It shouldn't be both. Then comes what I never thought would occur at the press conference, another South Park game but for iOS and Android. It's called South Park Phone Destroyer, which will be good. Then comes Starlink Battle for Atlas, which is set in space and will be good. Even though the graphics aren't the best for an 8th gen game, the gameplay is good, especially with the introduction of the Toys to Life concept used in Skylanders, Disney Infinity, and LEGO Dimensions. The worlds, despite looking ripped from No Man's Sky, are more fun versions of them. The voice acting is imaginative, and the trailer is good. I think it will meet good reviews. Then comes Steep, Road to the Olympics, an expansion pack of Steep. Send the 2018 Winter Olympics, which will get as mixed reviews as Steep did when the game came out. After that comes Far Cry 5, which won't be as good as Far Cry 3, but will still be good. The gameplay is good, the graphics are amazing, and the story is good. If there's one word to describe it, it's good. Finally comes the greatest game at Ubisoft's conference, Beyond Good and Evil 2. Finally, after 9 years of wait for a sequel to the critically acclaimed Beyond Good and Evil, which I want to review in my channel, by the way, to finally show up again. It showed up again, and it's different from how it was back in 2008. It's more mature and a prequel to Beyond Good and Evil. And while it isn't the best game of E3 2017, it will still be great. While the story may not make sense for a prequel, because I haven't played the first Beyond Good and Evil yet, I still like it. Some of the characters I like, and the worlds are good. Like Microsoft and Bethesda, Ubisoft sure saved the best for last. Now that makes it 3, Microsoft, Ubisoft, and Bethesda. They all hosted press conferences with the best games shown there, also the last games shown there. But really, some E3 press conferences in E3 history all have their respective best games shown last, so if there are any other E3 2017 press conferences that have their respective best games shown last, I'll let you know, okay? Anyways, Ubisoft did not host the greatest E3 2017 press conference, but they sure did good at their E3 2017 press conference. When a video game company hosts a press conference, that press conference is mainly about the games, and the games shown there were good. Yeah, there was a cringy moment, but even that didn't stop the press conference from being almost great. A bad modern version of a video game company hosting a good E3 2017 press conference. Who would know that? Like I said in the Microsoft part in this video, Microsoft is a video game company used to be good. If I conclude that they now suck, that will make it 2, Ubisoft and Microsoft. They both hosted good E3 2017 press conferences. Good job, guys. Keep up the good work. Make them better, live them up to their hype, and someday you'll both return to your former glory. Hell, you'll even be better than your first former selves. For me and right now, it's time for me to move on. There's 2 more press conferences for me to talk about, and both of them are hosted by Japanese console makers. Both of which were big rivals in the 5th generation of video games. And guess who I'm talking about first? Round 6. Sony. Here's your answer, viewers. The dudes who dominated the industry in the 5th generation of gaming with the PlayStation 1, Sony. Or their gaming division, Sony Computer Entertainment, now Sony Interactive Entertainment. I already talked about how I feel about Sony in the gaming industry back in my E3 2016 video, And today, that opinion I have on them hasn't changed a bit. I still like them, their consoles, and their games. They're good. About Sony's E3 2017 press conference, it's great. It's as great as Microsoft's E3 2017 press conference, and great like Sony's E3 2016 press conference. Good games and good atmosphere are two reasons for Sony doing great at E3 2017. The conference begins with music that sounds like God of War, making me think that God of War 2016 will come next. But that also sounded like music coming from India. After the music comes an answer that it is not God of War 2016, but instead what I predicted to be Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which I was right on, and I think it will be a good standalone expansion to the Uncharted series. Then comes the snow effects in the conference, so I thought that God of War 2016 would appear next, right? Nope, it's made by Guerrilla Games, so it's not the new God of War, and instead what I hoped to be a new Killzone game, but I was wrong on that too. Instead, it's an expansion pack to Horizon Zero Dawn, subtitled The Frozen Wilds, which I don't know what to say about. Then comes what I think to be Days Gone because of the Sony Bend Studio logo, and I was right, it is Days Gone, and I think it'll be great. The gameplay is good, the game is cinematic, the graphics are amazing, the worlds are good, the level design is good, and the designs on the zombies are original, especially for that zombie bear. Ooh. I don't know if it will be the next or second next Last of Us or not, but I think that it will be great. And considering that critics liked most of Bend Studios games, including the Siphon Filter games, that is saying a lot. Then comes another good game, which I thought to be Monster Hunter World, and I was right. It is Monster Hunter World. The graphics are amazing, the gameplay is good, and the world is good. It will be a decent addition to the Monster Hunter series. Then comes a PS4 remastering of, so far, my favorite game on the PlayStation 2, Shadow of the Colossus. If that opinion changes, I'll let you know. Anyways, why do I like Shadow of the Colossus for the PS2? Well, it's because of huge worlds, the beautiful art style, and the subtle bosses. I'm glad to be a part of gamers who all like Shadow of the Colossus. I'm also glad that, like a lot of critically liked games getting 8th gen or 9th gen remasters, Shadow of the Colossus is getting one. And due to the amazing trailer, amazing graphics, and amazing animation, it will be an amazing remaster of an already critically liked game. Then comes Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which sadly isn't the best game shown on the conference, but it won't be bad. While the graphics aren't the best for an 8th gen game, I like the trailer, the story, and the playable characters. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite will be a good return of the Marvel vs. Capcom series after Capcom lost use of the Marvel license in 2012 due to Disney's acquisition of Marvel 3 years prior. Then comes a Call of Duty World War II, which is a return to what the series originally was, a World War II shooter. But that doesn't stop the game from feeling like the same as the first 3 Call of Duty games. Then came 6 PSVR games. The PSVR version of Skyrim, which is cool. Star Child, which will be good despite not fulfilling the concept of virtual reality. The Impatient, which isn't the scariest for survival horror and needs more explanation on what it will be like. Monster of the Deep, Final Fantasy 15, which is like DLC for Final Fantasy 15 that can't be in the game itself because it's VR, while the game isn't. Bravo Team, and Moss, which is as good as the PSVR version of Skyrim. Then comes what I thought to be God of War 2016, which I was right on. It is God of War 2016, and its real title is God of War 2018. It's commonly referred to God of War 4 because it's a soft reboot of the God of War games like Jurassic World is to the Jurassic Park franchise, considering that it takes place in the world of the Norse gods instead of the Greek ones. But it doesn't explain why Kratos moved from the world of Greek mythology to the world of Norse mythology. Actually, things kept in the Greek mythology world, like the pots, are also present in the Norse mythology world, but how? How did they move from one mythology to the other? It makes no sense. Unless Thor from Norse mythology alone, and not the one in the Marvel movies, brought Kratos and the proof of Kratos' existence in other mythologies, again, like the pots, to his mythology. But that aside, I think it'll be a great game. The graphics are amazing, the gameplay is good, the combat is good, the levels are good, and the characters are either naturally developed or likable. The trailer is also as good as that of A Way Out. God of War 2018, which I want to call it because I'm not in the mood to call it God of War 4 because soft reboots usually don't add numbers to their titles, will be a great soft reboot for a video game franchise. Then comes Detroit Become Human, which I said back in my E3 2016 video that it will be about an android detective, but in reality, that detective is somewhat related to what the story of the game is really about, an android revolution. In the game, androids are used to help people, but the androids in their revolution feel like slaves and think that they should get as much treatment as the humans do. So one of the androids, named Marcus, frees the androids from the store and starts a revolution, while for the other two, Kara, whose game is derived from a tech demo that she was the main part of, is exploring the world to find where she fits. And Connor, who is the android detective I talked about the last time I talked about the game, is on a job to hunt down deviant androids like Kara. I don't know, viewers, but this story feels like 3 separate stories compiled together to form one. But Detroit Become Human will be good. The graphics are amazing, the gameplay is good, and the trailer is good. Detroit Become Human will be good. Then comes Destiny 2, which will get a little better reviews than its predecessor. Then comes what I predicted to be Spider-Man PS4 because of the city. And I was right. It is Spider-Man PS4, and it's called Spider-Man 2018. Sony is publishing 2 games with the word 2018 in the end of the title, and Spider-Man is better than God of War. The gameplay is Spider-Man meets Batman Arkham. The graphics are amazing, the world of New York City is thrilling, the music and voice acting are both imaginative for a Spider-Man product, and the game is cinematic. Sony Interactive Entertainment, the game's publisher, is owned by Sony, who also owns Sony Pictures, who made 3 arguably great Spider-Man movies. Well, Sony Interactive Entertainment will do the same to this game, and considering that the game's developer, Insomniac Games, also developed other critically liked games like the original Spyro trilogy for the PS1, the original Ratchet & Clank series for the PS2, the future Ratchet & Clank series for PS3, and the Ratchet & Clank reboot for the PS4, and worked with Sony on most of their games. That's saying a lot. After that, I thought what would occur next is another game, but nope, the conference frickin' ends. I was like, that was it? Because I thought it would go on for longer, but at around a full hour, that's okay for a press conference. Oh, and the best game shown on the conference, it's Spider-Man 2018, which is also the last game shown on the conference. So now we have 4, Microsoft, Sony, Ubisoft, and Bethesda. About Sony and Microsoft competing against each other at E3 history. At E3 2015, Microsoft beat Sony. At E3 2016, Sony beat Microsoft. At E3 2017, Microsoft and Sony both did not beat each other. In fact, they both tied. Both of their E3 2017 press conferences are equally great. Like Microsoft's E3 2017 press conference, Sony's had good games and a good atmosphere for a press conference. I never knew that both Microsoft and Sony would ever tie, but they both did a good job nonetheless. Good job, Microsoft and Sony, good job. Oh, and who won E3 2017? Well, so far, the best E3 2017 press conference, or press conferences, are hosted by 2 of the 3 current console makers themselves, Microsoft and Sony. But gamers say that there's a better E3 2017 press conference than those 2. And I didn't even talk about the 3rd console maker yet, so I think that the 3rd console maker has what gamers consider to be the greatest E3 2017 press conference, which is true, and honestly, I agree with them. And guess who the 3rd console maker is? Final round. Nintendo. That's right, viewers, I agree with you. Nintendo did win E3 2017. About Nintendo, I considered them to be the single greatest video game publisher of all time. Well, today I mean that by pre-8th generation standards, so I mean that before the 8th generation of video games, Nintendo was the single greatest video game publisher. They saved the gaming industry from the video game crash of 1983 and 1985. They made amazing games. They made consoles I like. For example, my 3 favorite video game consoles of all time so far are all made by Nintendo. And they innovated the gaming industry with their consoles and games. They were excellent back then. Today, I don't know if they're keeping that rank or not because of their nonsensical copyright policy on YouTube, but they're still awesome today. They still make good games. They still make good consoles. No matter what, Nintendo as a video game publisher is always awesome. Same goes to their E3 2017 press conference. It's the best conference of E3 2017. The sole reason? Good games are shown there, making the press conference thrilling and awesome. Like Nintendo's E3 2013 press conferences. You think I'm disappointed that Nintendo hosted a Nintendo Direct, despite it being called a Nintendo Spotlight, by the way, instead of an actual press conference as their E3 2017 press conference, but no. I learned that by E3 2013, they decided that hosting actual press conferences as E3 press conferences is not worth it. My response, okay, good press conference, though. The first game shown on the conference is Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which will be a good sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles. Then comes a surprise, a new Kirby game for the Nintendo Switch. I love the Kirby series. They're fun and happy. I like the games, the music, and the characters. For the games, that new one for the Nintendo Switch is no exception. The gameplay is good, the graphics are amazing, and the multiplayer is fun. That new Kirby game for the Nintendo Switch will be a great addition to the Kirby series. Then comes a Pokken Tournament Deluxe, a Nintendo Switch port of a Wii U game called Pokken Tournament, which will port well to the Switch. Then comes an announcement that Game Freak has begun development for a main Pokemon game on the Switch. That makes sense because the Switch is a handheld. Because the game is very early in development, no footage or screenshots of the game have shown up yet. But I think a main Pokemon game on the Switch will be awesome. And that one is no exception. Next comes another game in development with no screenshots or footage showing up yet, Metroid Prime 4. I love the Metroid series. The most critically acclaimed title of the series, Metroid Prime, is one of the single greatest video games of all time. The visuals are all excellent for the GameCube, the gameplay is excellent, the exploration is fun, and the movement of the series from 2D to 3D is well executed. Samus joined Mario and Link as characters with amazing 3D conversions. Not only that, but it is also like Nintendo's answer to Halo Combat Evolved. In fact, the Metroid Prime trilogy is like Nintendo's answer to the original Halo trilogy by Bungie. Anyways, about Metroid Prime 4, despite only the game's title art showing up in the reveal trailer and nothing else, gamers are heavily hyped up for the game because Metroid will finally be returning. By that I meant strongly. Honestly, I'm one of them. Yeah, there needs to be more things for the game, like the graphics and gameplay, but that's because the game is in development. But even from that, I still think a new Metroid Prime game for the Nintendo Switch would rock. Hell, I even consider it not only to be the best game shown at Nintendo's conference, but also to be the single best game ever shown at E3 2017. Because Metroid Prime finally returning to the Nintendo Switch will be awesome. Also, the trailer is as amazing as Anthem's because it gives me the hype for the new Metroid game coming. So now, 2 trailers have the same rank as the best trailer of E3 2017. One for Anthem and one for Metroid Prime 4. Then comes a new Yoshi game for the Nintendo Switch, which is a 2D platformer. Instead of that 3D platformer I stated in my first Nintendo Switch video, I wanted that new Yoshi game to be. My response, okay. After all, does Nintendo even think the Yoshi series should ever have a 3D game? I think not. Besides, that new Yoshi game will be great. The graphics are amazing, the gameplay is good, and the paper and crafts art style is great. That new Yoshi game will be great, but Nintendo, if you want to change the name of that new Yoshi game? Retitle it Yoshi Paper Mache. Oh wait, nothing in the game looks like paper mache. Okay, how about you retitle it Paper Yoshi instead? Oh wait, if there will be a Yoshi game that has the art style of that from Paper Mario, it needs that title, so Nintendo, at least relate that title to both Yoshi and the game's paper art style, please. Next comes Fire Emblem Warriors, which will be great. The voice acting is imaginative, I like the story, and the graphics are amazing. Fire Emblem Warriors will be the next Hyrule Warriors. And then comes 2 packs of DLC for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, none of which will be bad. The Master Trials and the Champions Ballad. Also at the Champions Ballad DLC pack, there are 4 champions that the DLC packs tie links to. The Zora champion Mipha, the Goron champion Daruk, the Rito champion Rivoli, and the Gerudo champion Rebosa. And all of these champions get their own amiibos. That's frickin' cool. After that comes an announcement that E3 2017 will have a competitive invitational like esports. That thing is by Nintendo, and it played all throughout E3 2017. At Tuesday, June 13th, Splatoon 2 is played. At Wednesday, June 14th, both Pokken Tournament DX and ARMS are played. Nintendo of America's president, Reggie My Body Is Ready, Phil's can I pronounce his name like that? If not, I'm just calling him Reggie My Body Is Ready. Let me know in the comments, okay? Anyways, Reggie My Body Is Ready didn't tell me what would be played at Thursday, June 15th, but he did say that not only esports teams or pros from nations or unions like the United States, Europe, and Japan, but also E3 2017 attendees will compete in these games. For the pros and teams, that's not an option, but for the attendees, it is. I think combining E3 and something like esports is kind of a good idea. I don't know what happened there, though. Then comes Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which I already talked about in the Ubisoft part of this video. Then comes Rocket League for the Nintendo Switch. It's a port of Rocket League for the Nintendo Switch. And thanks to the matching graphics, exclusive cars, and customizables, and cross-network play, I think it will be a good port for the Switch. And finally comes Super Mario Odyssey, which I stated in my second Nintendo Switch video to be good. But now my expectations of the game are higher. Now, I think it will be awesome. At best and at worst, almost awesome, but still great. The gameplay is amazing because, other than emulating Super Mario Galaxy, it also adds a mechanic in which you throw your cap in various directions. Whether you kill enemies, get coins, or gain momentum while jumping. If there's a Yoshi in the game, he doesn't even need to sacrifice it by jumping it down a pit, like he did in Super Mario World. Oh wait, the Yoshi is used first, so that's a bummer. But anyways, there are 2 game mechanics that I didn't mention in my second Nintendo Switch video. Possessing enemies and infinite lives. In my second Nintendo Switch video, I stated that Mario's hat got a personality and is a sidekick in the game. Well, the hat does not have a personality, because it's possessed by a spirit named Cappy. He is also your sidekick. What does that have to do with the two game mechanics, you ask? Well, Cappy can possess stuff, so he lets you possess enemies when the hat is on the enemies. Cappy only has stuff to do with this mechanic. The other mechanic, or infinite lives, has nothing to do with Cappy. Anyways, this game ditches the number of lives mechanic used in other main Mario games and replaces it with the infinite lives mechanic, but it's not really infinite lives because dying costs money in the game. Not microtransactions, thank God, but in-game money or coins. So it's the infinite lives mechanic also used in Grand Theft Auto. For a Mario game, the infinite lives mechanic is unique. Oh, and for the other one, it's unique for a platformer. One thing I have to say is that in my second Nintendo Switch video, I said that you can travel dimensions in the game. Well, by that I meant worlds, because no one mentions if they're actually dimensions or not. But anyways, the graphics are amazing, the bosses are good, the worlds range from thrilling to good, and the trailer is good, especially the song that plays in the trailer. That song is not licensed like the one used in the Mario plus Rabbids trailer is. It's initially made by Nintendo in order to use it in the game. I don't know which one's better, but I like both of them. The song made by Nintendo is jazzy, fits the mood of the game, fun, and is fun to sing along to. Pauline, who is Mario's love interest in the 1981 Donkey Kong arcade game, does a good job at singing the song. I may or may not consider Super Mario Odyssey to be the next Super Mario Galaxy 2, but I still think it will be great. Other than the new Pokemon and Metroid games for the Nintendo Switch, I consider it to be the best game ever shown at Nintendo's E3 2017 press conference. E3 2017 sure set the best for last. Good games make this press conference thrilling and fun. Gamers, you were right. Nintendo did win E3 2017. Congratulations, Big N. You beat your tied two rivals at E3 2017. What a combo, man. What a combo. My final thought. E3 2015 was amazing. E3 2016 was just good, and E3 2017 is great. What made E3 2017 a special E3 were the great games, cool ideas, thrilling stuff, cool trailers, good press conferences, and good stuff. E3 2017 isn't the best E3 of all time, but that doesn't stop it from being a special and great E3. The best game of E3 2017 is Metroid Prime 4. Even though it didn't show enough to me, I still think a new Metroid Prime game on the Switch would be awesome. Hell, the only other game at E3 2017 that didn't show enough was that new main Pokemon game on the Switch, and I still think that would be awesome as well, because of what the game will be. The best game of E3 2016 had a little boy and monster, while the best game of E3 2017 had our beloved female bounty hunter, Samus Aran. The best game of E3 2017 that did show enough to me is Anthem, because of the amazing graphics, cool gameplay, and good worlds. But I'm also looking forward to Middle-earth Shadow of War, A Way Out, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Metro Exodus, Cuphead, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, The Darwin Project, The Evil Within 2, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, Beyond Good and Evil 2, God of War 2018, Spider-Man 2018, Days Gone, The Shadow of the Colossus remaster for the PS4, the VR versions of Skyrim, Fallout 4, and Doom 2016, the new Yoshi and Kirby games for the Nintendo Switch, Fire Emblem Warriors, Super Mario Odyssey, and more. Metro Exodus has the best graphics of E3 2017, but the graphics on Star Wars Battlefront 2, Anthem, Forza Motorsport 7, The Last Night, Cuphead, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Days Gone, Skull and Bones, Far Cry 5, God of War 2018, Monster Hunter World, Call of Duty World War II, Detroit Become Human, and other games impress me too. Anthem has the best gameplay of E3 2017, but the gameplay from Super Mario Odyssey, Spider-Man 2018, Days Gone, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, Skull and Bones, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Middle-earth Shadow of War, Metro Exodus, A Way Out, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the new Yoshi game on the Nintendo Switch, The Darwin Project, Sea of Thieves, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and other games impressed me. The teaser trailer for Anthem and reveal trailer for Metroid Prime 4 are both tied as the greatest trailers of E3 2017 because they both thrilled me. But I also liked the trailers for A Way Out, Super Mario Odyssey, God of War 2018, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Cuphead, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Crackdown 3, The Shadow of the Colossus remaster for the PS4, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Dragon Ball FighterZ, The Evil Within 2, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, and other games. Nintendo won E3 2017 because of cool games and good ideas, but Microsoft, Sony, Ubisoft, and Devolver Digital all hosted good E3 2017 press conferences too. E3 2017 rocks. It's exciting, good games are shown there, cool ideas are shown there, there are good press conferences, and there are cool trailers. I pretty much had a good first half of 2017, and E3 2017 is no exception to that. E3 2017 isn't the best E3 of all time, but it's good. I had fun at E3 2017. Do any of you viewers agree with me in E3 2017 whatsoever? What are your opinions on E3 2017? Let me know in the comments, please. If you want my next video to be a review on Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, or Rogue Warrior, I'm sorry viewers, my next video won't be any of those. I'll still review all of these games someday though. My next video will instead be another topic about the gaming industry nowadays. I don't know what it will be about, but it has something cool in it. I'll work on it straight after this one comes out. And this time, I won't lie, thankfully. Anyways, until then, I'll see you next time. Happy gaming. Now go play a video game and have fun at late July 2017.